December 8, 1941. Wichita, Kansas. A winter wind scrapes across the tarmac, carrying the smell of oil, steel, and cold iron. Inside a cavernous aircraft plant, radios crackle with a single word repeated again and again. Pearl Harbormen stop mid-motion. Rivet guns fall silent. The echo lingers, unfinished, like a breath held too long. Outside, dark clouds roll low over the flat Kansas horizon. Inside, the future of a war is beginning to take shape. The United States has been attacked. Battleships burn in Hawaii. Fighter planes lie shattered on runways. In Washington, alarms ring through the halls of power. In Tokyo, planners believe they have bought time. Time to fortify, time to expand, time America will never be able to match. They are wrong. In Wichita, thousands of civilians arrive for their shifts with lunch pails and folded newspapers. Most are not soldiers. Many have never seen combat. Some have never even flown. But within weeks, they will be drafted into a different kind of battle, a production war. The factory floor stretches like a steel city. Overhead, lights buzz. Cranes glide slowly above skeletal airframes. Aluminum panels rest in stacks taller than men. The smell of solvent burns the nose. Every surface hums with tension. At the center of it all stands a factory manager. His name is not yet famous. He wears a plain suit, sleeves rolled up, tie loosened. He has not slept much. His eyes track movement, not people, bottlenecks, delays, gaps. He understands something others do not. This war will not be won first in the Pacific. It will be won here. The enemy is not only Japan's Navy or Air Force. It is distance, time, attrition, the sheer impossibility of reaching an island empire thousands of miles away. To reach it, America will need a bomber unlike any before it. High altitude, long range, heavy payload, pressurized cabins, remote-controlled gun turrets. A machine so complex it borders on the impossible. It will be called the B-29 Superfortress on paper. It is revolutionary. On the factory floor, it is chaos. Parts arrive late. Sub-assemblies do not fit. Engineers argue with foremen. Blueprints change faster than they can be printed. One mistake can halt an entire line. The Japanese High Command watches American industry with skepticism. They have seen factories before. They know production takes time. They believe sabotage, submarine warfare, and attrition will slow it down. They do not yet understand American scale or American desperation. As the weeks pass, the factory fills with new faces. Farmers, clerks, housewives, teenagers barely out of school. Women step onto the line in trousers and coveralls, hair tied back, hands learning the weight of tools once forbidden to them. The shifts multiply, day, night, then another. The plant never sleeps. Outside, snow turns to mud. Trains arrive loaded with raw aluminum. Guards patrol the perimeter. Windows are blacked out at night. Somewhere in the Pacific, Marines dig foxholes under tropical rain. Somewhere else, sailors listen for the sound of incoming aircraft. Here, the sound is constant. Metal on metal, footsteps, engines being tested, then shut down. The factory manager walks the floor again, faster now. He is not thinking in days or weeks. He is thinking in minutes, because far across the ocean, another clock is ticking. And when it reaches zero, only one thing will matter: how fast America can build. Early 1942. Seattle, Washington. Cold rain streaks down the windows of Boeing's main plant. The air smells of wet concrete and hot wiring. Inside, the B-29 program is already in trouble. The Superfortress is too advanced, too ambitious, too many systems layered on top of one another. Pressurization fails. Engines overheat. Wiring diagrams sprawl like nervous systems, with no clear center. General Henry Hap Arnold of the U.S. Army Air Forces knows the truth. Without the B-29, there is no way to strike Japan from the air. No stepping stones exist yet. No captured islands close enough. The bomber must fly farther than any American aircraft ever has. It must carry the war on its wings. Arnold applies pressure. Relentless pressure. Deadlines are moved forward. Production targets double. Failure is not an option, only a court-martial away. Back in Wichita, the factory manager receives the numbers. They are impossible. One completed aircraft takes months, sometimes longer. Every B-29 is built like a custom machine, assembled piece by piece in sequence. If one station slows down, everything behind it stops. A single missing component can paralyze the entire plant. The manager studies the floor at night after the shifts end. The lights are dimmed. The aircraft frames stand silent. Half-born, he sees the floor. They are building airplanes the way craftsmen build pianos. This war requires something else. He gathers his engineers, production chiefs, and foremen. Voices rise. Objections fly. This aircraft is too complex, they argue, too delicate, too dangerous to break apart. The manager does not argue back. He walks them to the floor. He points the wing section, the nose assembly, the bomb bay. The tail, each one, he says, can be built separately, not sequentially. Simultaneously modular production. It is an industrial gamble. Instead of one long line, the aircraft will be broken into massive sub-assemblies, each built in parallel. Entire wings assembled miles away. Fuselage sections constructed in different buildings, even different states. Then brought together at the final line, like pieces of a colossal machine snapping into place. The risk is enormous. If tolerances are off by fractions of an inch, nothing fits. If coordination fails, chaos multiplies. No American bomber has ever been built this way, but time is running out. The manager issues the order. Factories are reorganized almost overnight. Walls are knocked down. New jigs are welded into place. Rail spurs are extended directly into the plant. Trucks rumble in and out at all hours. Suppliers are pulled into the plan. Thousands of subcontractors now build pieces of the same airplane without ever seeing the whole. A wing built in Kansas must align perfectly with a fuselage built in Nebraska. There is no margin for error. The workforce adapts under pressure. Women learn to rivet pressurized sections that must hold at 30,000 feet. Teenagers assemble wiring harnesses thicker than their arms. Supervisors run drills with stopwatches, shaving seconds from every task. The factory manager walks the line constantly. He does not shout. He does not threaten. He asks one question again and again. Why are we waiting? If a tool is missing, he finds another. If a process stalls, he splits it in two. If a shift ends, another replaces it immediately. 3 shifts become the standard. The plant glows through the night, a steel city that never darkens. Outside, the war grows louder. News arrives of Bataan, of Singapore, of American pilots flying obsolete planes against modern enemies. The pressure tightens. Inside the plant, something begins to change. Completed sections start moving faster. Bottlenecks loosen. The final assembly line, once clogged with half-finished aircraft, begins to flow. One bomber rolls out, then another. The factory manager watches as a completed B-29 is towed toward the runway. Its engines cough, then roar. The sound shakes the windows. For the first time, he allows himself a breath. Because speed, once unleashed, is contagious, and this factory is about to become a weapon. Summer 1943, Wichita, Kansas. Heat shimmers above the runway. Cicadas buzz beyond the fence. Inside the plant, sweat darkens uniforms and coveralls alike. The pace is now relentless. The modular system works, but only just. Every delay echoes down the line. Every error multiplies across hundreds of airframes. Engines arrive wrapped in tarps, still warm from testing. Wing sections are rolled in on custom-built dollies, guided by men shouting over the din. The factory manager has become a constant presence. His shoes are dusted white with aluminum powder. His voice is hoarse. He keeps a notebook in his pocket, filled with crossed-out times and red ink. Minutes saved are victories. The B-29 is still fighting back. The Wright R-3350 engines overheat without warning. Cowlings warp. Oil lines rupture. Test pilots climb down from cockpits pale and silent, hands still shaking. More than one aircraft catches fire on the ground. General Arnold visits the plant. He walks beneath the wings, flanked by officers. He sees the speed. He also sees the danger. Pilots are dying in training accidents. Crews are terrified of the engines. Engineers beg for delays to fix flaws. Arnold refuses. Build them, he orders. We'll fix them in the field. The factory manager understands what that means. These aircraft are not just machines. They are promises being shipped unfinished to war. But the alternative is worse. Across the Pacific, the distance remains brutal. From India to Japan is a stretch few aircraft can survive. Every pound of weight matters. Every mile of range is bought with blood. Back on the line, new procedures appear overnight. Fire crews are stationed beside test stands. Cooling flaps are modified mid-production. Changes are communicated by chalk marks and shouted instructions. The workforce absorbs it all. Women work 12-hour shifts riveting pressurized cabins that must not leak. Their fingers bleed. They tape them and keep going. One mistake means decompression at altitude. One loose rivet can kill a crew. At night, the plant glows like a furnace. Trains arrive without schedules. Entire fuselage sections are craned into place, while another shift eats hurried meals beneath unfinished wings. The factory manager introduces rolling inspections. Instead of waiting until the end, inspectors now move with the aircraft. Problems are caught early. Rework drops. Speed increases again. Then comes the breakthrough, a fully modular final assembly line. Instead of stopping at fixed stations, the aircraft moves continuously, slowly, relentlessly, like a living thing being assembled as it breathes forward. The effect is immediate. Where once a B-29 took months, now one emerges in weeks, then days. The numbers climb faster than anyone predicted. Japan's intelligence reports fail to keep up. Analysts estimate American production conservatively. They cannot imagine this pace. No bombing raid has touched Wichita. No submarine has interrupted these supply lines. By late 1943, rows of completed superfortresses line the airfields. Their polished aluminum skins reflect the sun. Nose art appears. Names are painted beneath cockpit windows. The first crews arrive to take delivery. They walk around the aircraft silently. They touch the metal. Some smile, some do not. One pilot runs his hand along the wing and asks a worker how long it took to build. The answer is measured in hours now, not months. In the Pacific, the war waits. Because before these bombers can change history, they must survive it. And the factory manager knows the next test will not be on the production line. It will be in the sky. November 1944. Eilif Field, Saipan. Warm rain falls in sheets, turning the coral runway slick and white. Engines scream into the humid air. A B-29 begins its takeoff roll, heavy with fuel and bombs. The right engines strain, propellers biting into the thick Pacific air. The aircraft shudders, then lifts, barely clearing the trees beyond. The runwaymen on the ground watch in silence. These bombers are the direct descendants of the factory floor in Wichita. Every rivet, every panel, every compromise made in the name of speed. Now they face reality. Early missions are disasters. High-altitude bombing proves inaccurate. Jet stream winds tear formations apart. Engines fail mid-flight. Some aircraft ditch at sea, crews swallowed by water and darkness. Reports flow back across the Pacific. Losses mount. Crews complain. Commanders argue. General Curtis LeMay arrives. LeMay is blunt. He listens, then changes everything. Altitude is lowered. Formation tactics are altered. Bomb loads are increased. The B-29 is turned into a night bomber. Back in the United States, the factory manager receives new directives. Modifications are ordered immediately. Fire control systems, armor changes, weight reductions. There is no pause. Factories adapt in weeks what once took years. Change orders ripple through the modular system without stopping it. Entire sections are redesigned while production continues. The result is staggering. By early 1945, superfortresses arrive in theater faster than they can be assigned crews. Maintenance units are overwhelmed. Airfields expand just to park them. Japan feels the shift. March 9, 1945. Tokyo. Low clouds. High winds. Hundreds of B-29s approach at low altitude. Incendiaries fall like rain. Firestorms erupt. Streets vanish. Air turns unbreathable. Civilians flee through walls of flame. The city burns. In Wichita, the factory runs another night shift. Workers hear the news on the radio as they rivet. Some stop. Some cross themselves. Some keep working without a word. They know what they are building. Japan's ability to respond collapses. Fighter defenses thin. Industry shatters. Yet the bombers keep coming because the factories never stop. By summer, production numbers reach heights no one thought possible. The modular system, the constant shifts, the ruthless efficiency have turned American industry into an engine of war unmatched in history. The factory manager watches another aircraft depart. He does not cheer. He checks his watch. The war's end approaches, but the cost is everywhere. Burned cities, lost crews, silent factories across the Pacific. When the final missions fly, the B-29 has become more than an airplane. It is time compressed into aluminum, and time once lost can never be recovered. August 15, 1945. Wichita, Kansas. Morning light spills through factory windows. For the first time in years, the siren does not sound. Radios carry the announcement quietly at first, then louder. Japan has surrendered. Men and women stand where they are. Some sit down, some cry. Others stare at unfinished airframes, hands still resting on tools outside. The sky is clear. The factory manager walks the floor one last time. The machines are idle, the conveyors still. The great modular system that once moved faster than fear now waits, motionless. In the Pacific, crews stand down. Airfields fall silent. The B-29s sit baking in the sun, their aluminum skins scarred by heat and flak. Some will fly home, others will never move again. The cost is counted slowly. Cities reduced to ash. Hundreds of thousands of civilians dead. Airmen buried at sea. Engineers haunted by designs rushed into combat. Workers who aged years in months. The factory manager reads casualty lists in the newspaper. He recognizes tail numbers. He remembers the nights those aircraft were completed, rushed out under pressure, engines still unproven. He wonders who sat in those seats. History will not remember his name easily. It will remember generals, pilots, cities burned and wars ended. But behind every mission was a factory that never slept and a decision to value speed over perfection. That decision changed the war. Japan could not disrupt it, could not replicate it, could not outrun it. The modular lines, the constant shifts, the relentless questioning of delay transformed American industry forever. After the war, the methods spread. Cars, appliances, rockets, entire economies built on the idea that time itself could be manufactured. But in 1945, standing on a silent factory floor, none of that feels triumphant, only heavy. The war is over. The machines are quiet. And the question lingers in the empty space they leave behind. When speed becomes the ultimate weapon, what does it demand in return?